Shalom, me, my homies. Welcome to another exciting episode of the Stacking Triggers podcast, a podcast for casual spikes like you and me and Bill. How are you, Bill?
I am excited to tell everybody about how much Magic I have not played. But
Same.
hopefully, they like some of the insights that we have. I'm excited.
Yeah. As for me, you can actually see me with good quality for once. Hey, turns out using your cell phone camera as your webcam, useful thing that you can do. But
Nice.
that is beside the point. On today's epi, we are going to talk about our Fortnite and card games. Notice I say card games, not Magic. I wonder what Dan played mostly this week, or Fortnite, or whatever. Then, Foundations is changing a lot. You could say it's shaking the foundations of Magic the Gathering itself. So we have a lot of stuff to talk about regarding the damage changes, how damage is now assigned in the combat step. Do we think Foundations actually moves the needle for wanting us to play Standard? And then we're going to talk about some Universes Beyond Legality because Wizards has also released their 2025 slate. And half the standard legal sets will be Universes Beyond sets, which has caused some consternation amongst the community. But first, Bill, it's our Fortnite in card games. What have you done this week and last week?
There you go. This week, last week, this week it was Halloween, and Halloween fell on LGS night for me. So I didn't get to go this week. So instead, I have been playing on what's it called? Gatherling.
Oh,
Gatherling. Yeah. Well, so Gatherling is a site for like pre-modern popper MTGO games. They have a monthly tournament. They put stuff together. So I'm playing some pre-modern. Dipping my toes into format, played some blue-white control. I'm playing blue-white control. It's pseudo combo-y because it uses an enchantment called Parallax Tide, which has 5 fading counters on it. You remove a fading counter and you exile somebody's land. And Stifle is legal in that format, so you can stifle the drawback of the card, which is when the last fading counter is removed. Return the lands, right, when this thing disappears from the battlefield.
Oh, okay.
So yeah. Your creatures are 5-man lands. So Mishra's Factory and something like a Fairy Conclave. And there's this thing called Decree of Justice, which you can cycle for 3 and pay X as a triggered cost, and you make a bunch of 1/1 dudes.
Sure.
It's fun.
I think I've seen it in Commander Precon, so sure.
Yeah, it's fun. It's an interesting deck. A lot of blue-white control, so there's a lot of draw go that happens.
I'm already bored.
Yep, it's pretty boring. I'm going to try maybe something a little faster for the next month's tournament, but yeah, so far I'm 1-5 and I have 1 game left.
Yikes!
Yeah. And then last week at Modern, I played Sultai Living End.
Sure.
Which was fun. It made use of Halo Forger, a 3-drop from... Oh god, what's the one? It was before All Is One.
It sounds like March of the Machines. No.
Yes. It was March of the Machines.
March of the Machines is the final one before the story ends. And then there's Aftermath, which is like, here's the Kenra funeral.
Yeah. So it's a 3-drop, but you pay X when it enters the battlefield, and you can cast that thing, whatever you want. So you can cast Living End multiple times from your graveyard or from the cascade triggers of the Shartless Agent. It's fun. I had fun. I gave Primeval Titan had a long match against me because I was able to commandeer their one ring.
Yeah.
And I laughed, and then ultimately died to ring damage.
Yeah, that sounds right, because you have no life gain and no way of, like, outside of, like, Otawara, you have no way of, like, not dying to ring. So, yeah. Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah.
Boy, I remember when Halo Forger was first announced, people were like, oh my god, we can finally combat against the Cascade decks. Like, we can use this against Rhinos and all that other shit. And then it was just like, this is a 3-mana card that doesn't do anything unless you're playing those matchups. And then, oh, look, Modern rotated to where fucking Cascade is not a real deck anymore, so who cares?
Yeah. What made me want to play it is the fact that I got the Ghostbuster Secret Lair that had Living End in it. And I was like, oh, I have like 90% of these cards. Let me just throw it together. Also, the fact that Living End's a board wipe to take out Boros is really fun.
It's true.
Yeah, that's it. That was my Fortnite in Magic.
All right. Well, it's time for me to talk about my Fortnite in One Piece, because that's all I've been playing. The 2K coming up next Saturday. I have to be ready for. We have now rotated into the OP08.5 format, which is post-structure decks. So I have been playing Purple Luffy. Please stare at my $200 leader card. It's great. This is a deck that is very tempo-based, which is why I love it. But basically, you use your life to ramp Dawn. So you are trying to accelerate to 10 Dawn before your opponent can even get to like 7. You can do it pretty often. And you also just shit out like higher quality bodies than they can deal with at any point in time. So, yeah, when you do that and you play against decks that can't really handle that, they just kind of fold. And also it helps when you're like the best player playing at the store at the time, because like, you know,
Yeah.
I just show up and like there's like 6 people per weekend or per week, and I'm just like, I'm better than all. Like, and let me just say this: I don't have a fucking ego when it comes to card games. Like, I just recognize who's a better player than me, and there are people who are definitely better players than me, and I'm like, I know for a fact you are a better player than me. Not you, Bill, but like you, the person.
Yes, I am. Yes. You are a better player than me. Yes,
that's true. But like, I'll recognize like, hey, I'm a better player than that person, but I'm definitely a worse player than this person.
Mm-hmm.
I go to the store and I'm like, I'm a better player than all 5 of you. There was one week where I was like, I'm a better player than 4 of you. The one person's like a little bit better of a player than me, but I have a better matchup into them. So I'm just going to cook them. And it's true. That's exactly what happened. I cooked them because I just had a better matchup into them.
Dang.
So here we are. But yeah, so this is probably the deck I'm running at the 2K. The deck is good. I like it. I like the way it runs. People are like, how the fuck do you get all this shit? And I'm like, because I mulligan for it. I like hard mulligan for exactly what I need every time. And and like the thing is with the deck too, somebody else is playing it. It's like people are very linear in how they play the deck. People are like, all right, you go 4, 7, 10, and I'm like, all right, so because you ramp 2 Dawn, you get 2 Dawn every turn. So you go from 1 Dawn to 4 Dawn to 7 Dawn to 10 Dawn, in theory.
Mm-hmm.
People go that and they're like, this is the best curve. And it's like, yeah, when you draw it. But did you draw it? Oh, you didn't draw it? So what are you going to do now? How do you play the game now? And there are people who are just like, I don't know what to do. And I'm just like, I know exactly what to do. I look at my hand and I'm just like, this is exactly the way I'm supposed to play it out. Yeah. And there are people who just cannot do that with the deck. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying like I'm like a god tier Purple Luffy player, but like there are people who just like pick up the deck and they're just like, what the fuck do I do? And it's like, I don't know. Get some coaching, I guess.
That's like me with the black yellow Luffy deck. What the fuck do I do?
Oh, that deck is impossibly hard. Not impossibly hard, but that deck is very difficult. It's very easy to brick.
It's a lot harder to navigate.
Like you can easily fail with that deck without your opponent doing anything. Like your opponent doesn't have to put pressure on you, and you can just be like, Well, didn't find any of the pieces I need in like the top 30 cards, which has happened. I've had that happen, and it sucks.
It's the casino. It's the casino machine.
But like when you hit all the cards for Black Hill
It's
Luffy,
fantastic.
my god, that deck is impossible to beat.
But you have to hit them.
You have to
It's
hit
just-
them, and in theory, you should be able to hit them because you have like
Mathematically,
six
yeah.
searchers, a bunch of redraws, and like the new Egghead Luffy that came out in OPO7 that says, "Hey, pop a 4-cost, draw a card." Like that's really good. That's like a really good card. Just being like, all right, remove one of your bodies, and I'll also draw a card because of it. And it's like, oh, so I +2 off of this. Like, what the fuck? That's insane.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, so it's Purple Luffy for now. I doubt anything's going to happen the next week that's going to make me hate playing the deck, but we'll see. And then I have a modern 1K. I don't remember exactly what the prize pool is. The follow that Sunday, and
Okay.
I have played 0 modern since the RCQ that I punted. So, am I still going to take Teamer Breach? Yep. Am I going to win? Am I going to do well with Teamer Breach? We'll see. It depends on the number of players there. If there's only grinders there, I'm going to get smoked. Like, I know that for a fact. I'm just gonna get fucking cooked. But if there's a nice mix of like grinders and like non-grinders, then like I'll have a good chance of at least top 8ing, and that's like a couple $100 right there.
Yeah, I think with Teamer Breach, it's quickly rising through the ranks.
Which I hate. Stop playing it.
Stop
fucking playing it.
Yeah, let us know below. Are you playing Teamer Breach if you're playing Magic Modern stuff?
Or if you aren't, are you even aware of what the deck is? Because like,
yes,
I feel like that's a contingent too, where like people don't pay attention to the online metagame. They just go, "I'm just going to pay attention to what's in paper," and it's like that's cool. But
no,
the paper metagame is like trails a little bit behind the online metagame.
It's not even the paper metagame that I see most people gearing for. It's typically like their store metagame.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're at a store like mine, where it's 3 people on Primeval Titan, you're probably not going to do very well if that's what you're geared to beat.
Generally no. Also, I don't trust that deck into Titan. I would never trust that deck into Titan. Like Titan just has way too many angles to just win the game. Versus you have to like draw the nuts. Like you have to go like, all right, turn 1 Emery, turn 2 Grinding Station, turn 3 Breach, go win.
Do the thing.
Do the thing on turn 3. And if you don't do the thing on turn 3, all right, cool, Titan just murders you. Fuck that.
Yeah.
I would never. If I expected a heavy Titan metagame, there is not a chance I would play Breach. You play Murktide. And you play like traditional Murktide. You do not play Oculus Murktide. You play actual Murktide.
Like blue red?
No, I wouldn't go as far as blue red. Maybe blue red though. Because Blood Moon just goes like, hey,
it goes hard.
Do you have any of the red cards still? Oh, you don't? Well, sorry.
That's the thing. It's like I just realized I have to cut back on a lot of my Magic stuff, like Magic spending.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like I'm trying to think of ways like, okay, I need to really milk these Thursday night games to try to build up that prize pool money on a gift card at the store. So I've been debating going back to the Murktide list. Just for the
blue red.
Blue black.
Blue black does well. Like you need your go for the throats to shoot the sheriffs to deal with the Titans. But as long as you have that, and then like Kensign, like you can definitely win that. That's like traditional Murktide is like the best way to like not the best way, but it's like a great way to deal with Titan.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it's. I've been debating going back to that and just kind of playing that because, like, I don't have the Oculus. I don't know if I want the Oculus right now. I kind of want to see how it pans out.
Yeah, if your meta is more Boros oriented, the Oculus is just like the best way.
Yeah, it makes a blocker on their turn.
Yep, and not only that, but like. My store, like the last time I was there for Modern, people were playing a fuck ton of blue black, and I'm like, stop. Get off me. You guys are like fucking energy players. Go play energy. Leave me alone. Like go play that deck and let me have fun on blue black. Because there was like people already had like 4 or 5 blue black players. And now there's even more. And it's like, guys, fucking stop. Just stop. I don't want to see this. Go away.
Right. Yeah. My store's meta is like the player meta is like there's a handful of people who like who are grinder-esque people. So like a couple of guys go to like all the RCQs around. But then there's like the people that just want to come out and just jam like jank and just have fun. And so those people tend to not have as much fun because
they're playing jank in a competitive landscape.
Yeah, or they'll play the aspiring spike lists, right? Which you have to be extremely in tune with like the lines of every deck to navigate the metas. So,
and if you're already playing jank, you're not there.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on, Bill. We have a bunch of other stuff to talk about. So, with Foundations, a lot of things are changing, and that includes the way damage is now being assigned. So, we have the removal of damage assignment order. Welcome all to the experienced players. Foundations, you're taking the opportunity to streamline one part of combat. Note that if you learned combat with Magic the Gathering Foundations beginner box, this change isn't a change. Okay. So what are we changing?
If you're just learning Magic today, it's not a change for you.
Correct. We knew. Like, thanks, Captain Obvious. We're removing the concept of damage assignment order. What was damage assignment order? Boy, why are you formatting like this?
This hurts so bad. It was
damage assignment order was used whenever an attacking creature was blocked by more than one creature. It was also used whenever a single creature somehow blocked multiple attackers, but normally single creatures can't. That's a commander thing. Damage assignment order was put in place to emulate the system that came before it, when combat damage went onto the stack as an object players could respond to. In many ways, it was enacted to lessen post-Magic 2010 shock, but it hasn't aged particularly well. Okay, you can think that. It's somewhat unintuitive, adds a fair bit of rules baggage, and losing it means more interesting decisions and less double dipping if you know the tricks. We decided to move away from it for many of the same reasons we moved away from damage on the stack many years ago. Damage assignment order just got noticed a lot less because it appears only in scenarios where one attacker is taking on multiple blockers or vice versa. Previously, if an attacking creature was blocked by multiple creatures, the attacking player would put those blocking creatures in an order of their choice. During the combat damage step, attacking creatures can't assign combat damage to a creature that's blocking it unless each creature ahead of it in line is assigned lethal damage. Attacking creatures can't assign combat damage to a creature unless each creature ahead of it is dealt lethal damage. This happened immediately after blockers were declared, before combat damage was assigned and dealt. All right, bear with me.
Yep.
Oh my God, there's so much more.
There's so many words.
For example, if I attack with a 5/5 and you block the 3/3 and a 4/4, I would put your creatures in one of the two possible orders. Let's say I put the 3/3 first because I really want it gone. You're holding a spell that can save one of your creatures, such as Giant Growth. After the order is set, knowing the 3/3 is first in line, you cast Giant Growth on the 3/3. During the combat step, I would need to assign at least 6 damage to the 3/3, now 6/6, before I can assign any to the 4/4. But I only have 5 to assign to it. My creature, simply put, is doomed. Here's the change. Thank you, for love of God. Yeah. Damage assignment order no longer exists. If a creature is facing multiple creatures in combat, that creature's combat damage is assigned and dealt as its controller desires during the combat step. Other players won't necessarily know what's going to happen. Revising the example earlier under the new rules, my 5/5 attacker gets blocked by your 3/3 and your 4/4. It is now declared blockers after. It is now the declared blocker step after blockers are declared. Our last opportunity to do anything before combat damage is dealt. I pass priority. You have Giant Growth in hand. You can still save the creature of your choice. We'll say you want to save the 3/3, probably for the same reason I wanted it gone, so you pump it to a 6/6. We move to combat damage, and now I assign my creatures 5 damage to any way I like. Most likely I'll take out your 4/4, as it's the best I can do, but maybe, plans, and would rather deal 3 damage to the 6/6 and 2 to the 4/4. That's okay too. Okay, so basically, if I'm understanding this correctly, I can now assign, depending on the number of blockers, I can divide the damage up any way that I want to.
Yes. Yeah, you could do 0 damage to one and 5 damage to another.
Okay.
But it's all done at the same time. And there is no more concept of, okay, I'm going to do the damage to this one first, and then leftover damage goes to that one. That's no longer a thing. I think this has a terrible. I think this impacts Death Touch very, very poorly. If I'm understanding this right. Well, I guess
Death Touch is still the same. Actually, that's not true. Now,
right.
Now you're not now you're less incentivized to gang block because let's say I swing with Shieldred and you have like a 4/4 and a 3/3. Well,
Right.
before I would have to choose the order. I would have to I guess it's actually a bad example. Let's do let's do 2 4/4s. Let's say 2 4/4s. You gang block with 2 4/4s. All right.
Yeah.
One of the 4/4s will get all the damage assigned, all 4 damage assigned to it, and die. Now, if you did the same block, I could assign 1 damage to one of the 4/4s and 3 to the other. Both die via Death Touch, meaning I 2-for-1 you with that combat.
Okay. Yes. So this actually is in favor of the people who are attacking with Death Touch creatures.
Mm-hmm.
Because previously, okay, yes, because I think I was taking the trample rule and getting it mushed up in my head, right? Where the trample
you can go through is you can assign one
to each.
Two.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. Yeah. I think that's where I was getting confused. But now that's interesting, right? Because now it's like, haha, you fell for my trap. I can kill both creatures.
Yeah. So yeah. I don't know. It's interesting. I can't wait to play it. Actually, the modern 1K is the weekend that this changes because I think it goes live with pre-release of Foundations, and Foundations is the week that. So I'm sure someone's gonna get fucking rule sharked for this.
How is that going to work? Right, because it has to be pre-release weekend, right?
Yeah, I would assume so. Because if the cards are legal, if the rules are now legal. So
yeah, because like the actual release isn't until the 15th.
Correct.
Yeah. Interesting. I don't know. This is a weird change, and I'm not sure why it's being made. I think it's probably something to do with Arena.
Maybe. You have to change the coding on Arena though. Is the thing. Like why would you why would you want to change the coding on Arena for this? I don't know.
Unless the Arena devs are being like, look, this damage shit is like really complicated and it's causing us a lot of problems and we can't release things as quickly as we want to.
Sure. If they're making changes to the base game because of Arena, dear God help us all.
I don't know. Yeah. It's a bad speculation. Don't repeat it.
Yeah. All right. But yeah, so damage change is interesting. How is the fact what do you people think? What do you think of the damage change? Because like
I don't care. I don't really care. It's going to be a lot really, really confusing for the next probably quarter.
Yeah. The worst thing that happens here is that like 1% of all combat steps are completely changed, and then we just pretend that we're just like, this is fine. This was a change that they made.
Yeah, like I feel like it's not really going to matter in modern. Well, I guess it matters now in modern because there's a very prolific go wide deck, right? Where they have multiple blockers, but most of the time you only have like 1 or 2 creatures anyway, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Who knows? All right. Speaking of Foundations, let's talk about it. Bill, Foundations is releasing. It essentially makes Standard much more of an eternal format, given that like every card in the set in Foundations will be in Foundations. We'll have Standard We'll be in standard for 5 years.
5 years.
There's still the rotation of, your regular set formats. So like, you have Brothers War and all that kind of shit that's going to be rotating after this year cycle is up. But still, there's like that element of, hey, Duress is going to
have
these format forever. Hey,
yeah, you have these cards. They're always going to be here.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. For 5 years.
I am an avid hater of Standard. I think Standard sucks. I hate the rotation thing because randomly cards will be worth a lot of money because they're just good in Standard. And it turns out after you spend all that money on them being good in Standard, hey, they're complete dog shit in other formats.
3 years.
Like, unplayable dog shit in other formats. So why even care? But does this change anything for you to where, all right, now my decks are potentially alive for longer than 6 seconds?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm going to play because I want to do the RCQ stuff. Like, I want to do that. I want to go. I want to play competitively in larger formats or larger tournaments than just F&M, right? So having a base set to kind of build off of is nice. What's also nice is like I have a lot of these cards in here already because this foundation set is a huge set of reprints. Like Vile Entomber, we just had that in MH2. Italy,
insane to me. We're getting a modern Horizons power level card in Standard.
Okay, so I don't. What was this first released? When was this first released? Oh, it was MH2. Is
correct.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was printed before that.
Nope.
Yeah, that kind of tells you where the power level of everything is going, though, right? Like we're pushing Standard towards MH or like Modern Horizons power levels is what they're trying to do, which is interesting. I don't know if it's very good of an idea, because like Standard being slower and people having to like, oh, I actually have to get to 8 mana like by playing a single land every turn instead of having soul lands. Well, that's just going to take too long. That whatever.
That's also why Standard sucks. Is the games take too fucking long.
The teams take too long. I don't know. Like Impact Tremors is coming back. With the Boros token deck, that's Convoke decks. That seems really fun. But I don't know. I'm going to give it a try for the next RCQ season if I can. It moves the needle a little bit for me because I can. Again, I own most of these cards.
Sure.
Seeing,
yeah. Boy, do I not give a shit still. Yep. I'm only going to play Standard because they're the RCQs, and that's it. Yep. Like, I don't care. I'm still going to play. Hey, it's Cacophony Scamp plus Turn Inside Out plus double Leyline deck. I want to be. Do I win this? Do I win on turn 2, or does the game drag out and I just concede to my opponent on the spot after I don't have that exact opening hand? Because if it's like, I don't want to play the format. I don't think the format, like, you guys can cope and be like, this is the best format that Standard's been the cope.
I'm not saying it's the best.
No, I know you, but I mean, like, people are, this is the best Standard's been in forever. Cope. You cope harder, okay? Just cope harder. Just say you don't actually like playing Magic the Gathering when you say that. Just say it. It's okay. You can say you don't actually like playing the game anymore when you say, hey, Standard's good. Just say it. It's fine. Yeah. We're all fine with it. Like, cope on it. I don't give a shit.
Like, what I'm seeing in this too, like, I am seeing so many older reprints in this that they are trying to really entice the older enfranchised players back. They are trying to stir up the nostalgia for people by bringing a lot of these older cards in.
Sure. And that's fair. That's definitely a case. But this Foundations does absolutely nothing for me. This doesn't make this more of an eternal format. If anything, this powers up Pioneer a bit.
Yeah.
which is interesting. It makes it closer to like pre-Modern Horizons modern. But hey, guess what? No one's gonna care because nobody's gonna be playing Pioneer because Wizards refuses to support that format. So, cool.
I don't know.
Good job.
It moves the needle for me because it's the RCQ season. And it's going to be the main RCQ season for all of 2025. Right?
The next 3 RCQ seasons. Right? No, the next 2. And then we have Modern, and they have Standard again.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, that's the only reason I'm going to even be paying attention to Standard is because it's the RCQ season. Because I want to grind it out, and I want to try to go to an RC and see what I can do. Like, that's...
I'm really looking forward to saving my money off of tournament fees.
I'm
really looking forward to it. It's going to be the best. I'm going to have so much money to do different shit. It's going to be great.
Yeah. It's fine.
What do you guys think? Do you care about Foundations in Standard? Like,
is anybody actively playing Standard now since Duskmorn? Like, is it fun? Because like I watched the semifinals and the finals of Worlds with Javier.
You could I know Javier Dominguez won. You could name 2 random opponents, and I'd be like, yeah, sure. Because I didn't want I do not. I can't.
It was.
I do not give a fuck about Standard. I did not watch.
It was him
at all.
It was him. It was him and Seth Manfield that in the semifinals, and I had to watch that.
Don't care.
Come on.
Don't care. It could be like the greatest players of all time playing Standard right now, and I'd be like, I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I don't care. That's how little I care about Standard. You tell me, hey, the format we're playing today at this tournament is Standard. Bye.
Bye.
Don't want to play. Don't want to watch anybody play. Would just rather do anything else.
That's funny. I mean, I will say he came back from losing the first 2 to winning 3 in a row, and he milled his opponent out. It was pretty funny.
He won Standard. Congrats. He won a bad format. That's great. All right. Yep. Speaking of bad formats, Universes Beyond.
Yes, this is so funny to me. I love this so much. And Dan, I want to lead it off. So just to give people the background, Universe Beyond is being pushed as standard legal sets. So Spider-Man, right? Spider-Man, I think, is one of the ones that were announced. Yeah, Marvel. Yep,
and
Marvel,
and
Final Fantasy are all going to be standard legal. You will see them everywhere. My question to you, Dan, is: do you play Magic because of the art on the cards and the magnificent lore?
No, I've literally never done that in my entire life.
Exactly. I feel the same way. I like the game because of the mechanics and the decisions and the gameplay.
Yes.
I hate like these people that get so upset about the story, the in-universe. I get so tired of hearing that.
Oh, I know. It feels like such a cop-out. It's just like, I don't want to support this because my Magic lore. And I'm like, cool. You like the lore? That's great.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, if you like the story, you enjoy the story, fantastic. That has absolutely nothing to do with me and the fact that I am enjoying the gameplay. And yet these people are the loudest online about these Universes Beyond stuff. Like, I just
Magic the Gathering. I can't
make Magic great again.
It's like, man, do I not give a fuck about anything you're saying right now? Everything you're saying is stupid and dumb.
Yeah, that's the way I'm feeling about it. I just saw somebody complaining on Mark Rosewater's blog, say Wizards promised to print in-universe versions of mechanically unique cards. We're still waiting for a bunch of them to be printed, but now that but now the velocity of UB is accelerating. How will Wizards fulfill this promise? And Mark Rosewater is just like, look, I don't know. Things have changed since that promise was made. Like, there's no more set boosters. There's no more the list. Yeah, there's no more the list. So fun. We don't have to fulfill the promise.
Did we ever get The Walking Dead in universe?
Nope. I think that's what this person is complaining about.
I think it's categorically wrong. Walking Dead in the universe had to happen by now. Like I don't understand why that didn't. Like that's something where I'm like, absolutely, that should have been the first fucking one. Not Stranger Things. Yeah. I care because like the only way you can get these cards. I'm not saying like the only way you can get these cards is with their Walking Dead art. What I'm saying is all these cards were limited printings, and now you have to spend like $50 to get like Rick, a stalwart survivor, whatever the fuck it was, which is like a white human deck staple or like a human staple,
right?
And you can't play it because the card's like $1 million fucking dollars. I don't know how much it is, but it's like $1 million to even own the card in the first place, and there's no in-universe way to actually play it.
Yeah, I think my thing is though, it's like it doesn't really apply to me because I'm not playing Commander.
Well, it could be Legacy playable.
It's let me look at it. What was it again?
I don't know. I'm not saying like that card. I'm just saying like any card from a Secret Lair from a Universes Beyond is just suddenly just like, hey, spend the $20 or $50 to like get a single copy of the card. When like the Stranger Things reprints are like a nickel each because they were just heavily printed, so heavily printed in the Innistrad sets that everyone just has and just all that stuff.
But also, I don't think they were very good.
No, but you know,
yeah, I don't know. Four mana for a 3/4 in Legacy's kind of.
I'm just. I don't actually know.
I know. Neither do I. I'm just kind of looking at it. It's like, it's fine. It's fine. Like if it was a Legacy thing, people would have been louder about it.
Sure.
Yeah.
But I don't know. As for like, I think the thing I'm most worried about with the Universes Beyond in Standard is that why the fuck are there 6 standard legal sets a year now? Why the fuck do we have 6?
Yeah. That's a lot.
What are you doing?
Well, they did say they wanted to revitalize Standard.
Even still, this is too. We're back to there's too much product.
Yeah,
there's too much product. There's too many sets being released every year. There's too much product. There's now 6 standard legal sets. Like if you just did a standard legal set every fucking quarter, boy, that would be great. That'd be fantastic. Just every quarter, a new standard set. And then if you wanted to release, like, I don't know, MH4 already, which would be insane, but MH4 already, go release that in the summer, in between, like halfway in between, like your quarter 2 and quarter 3 set. There you go. Here's Modern Horizons 4 or whatever. Instead, one standard set every 2 months. Now spoiler season is literally all year.
Huh. Actually, so they did print the Walking Dead cards.
Oh, did they?
Universe. Yeah.
Where?
I don't know what set, but there's Greyman's. Somebody's stool. I don't know. There's a card here. I can't pronounce the name because reading is hard.
Well, then I don't know why people care. Then.
It's still expensive. It's still expensive.
Is it really? How much is it?
Yeah, it's like $39 or $42. It's $42. Actually, it's more expensive than the Secret Lair. No. The Universes Within is $42. The Rick, like Walking Dead card is $39. It's more expensive.
Where do they print
it?
What does the card look like?
Here I'm going to copy it and send it over to you,
or just present.
I don't know how to do that.
I hate you. All right.
I love me too.
Oh, this looks like Innistrad.
Yeah, it's.
Oh yeah, as a stalwart, it's Innistrad.
Yeah.
All right, hold on. Let me pull this up for everybody.
I don't know when it was printed.
Share screen. This one. All right, there you go. That's it right there. Yeah, that's it says Avison Stalwart, so therefore it's Innistrad. But 2023. Oh, this might have been 2023. Was this like March of the Machines? This might have been March of the Machines. For all of them. Like all these might have gotten printed in March of the Machines. So that way, because they can like put them around the universe.
Right.
I don't know.
That would make sense, but at the same time, it's like I had no idea this was ever printed.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
I'll look into it and figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
All right, but yeah, I think the thing that people should care about more. I mean, if you care about the purity of Magic, I've got bad news for you. The purity of Magic was ripped to shreds the second the Walking Dead secret lair was printed in the first place. So
yeah.
The door has been slowly opening, and now it's just like
it's
ripped off the fucking hinges.
Yeah.
And then the entire door frame was knocked down, and then there's no even semblance of a door anymore. It's just open. And I hate to say it, but what you thought of as Magic before is dead and gone.
Yep.
So, if you hate it and you don't want to support the game anymore, it was great playing with you.
You can always go to pre-modern. The cards don't change.
Go to One Piece. Just play One Piece.
Or that. I don't know.
And the Gundam TCG. But yeah,
I forgot about that.
It's over. Like, what everyone should care more about is the money they're going to have to spend to keep up with all the product that now has to like flow into every format. Because like, before, I was like, yo, dog, I can ignore standard sets because they don't affect modern that much, which is great. Now it's like, well, who the fuck knows? With 6 and them seemingly wanting to power up standard, for all we know, like these sets are gonna be crazy.
Well, Dan, how many cards from Duskmourn have leaked into standard now? Right? Like we have Fear of Missing Out. You have the Eyeball. The Black Overlord is creeping in as people are figuring out it's good. I don't know what other cards have come in.
There's Flytrap decks.
Oh yeah. There's Flytrap decks. There's
which OTKU.
It's all just coming in.
Although Bloomborough didn't do very much in modern.
No.
But I don't know. We'll see. Maybe Duskmourn was like a pure power up set, and then standard releases are gonna be like less power up. But I don't know, man. I don't like the release schedule. I don't. I think that's just too much. Too many standard sets. I'm not gonna be like go back to blocks, but also like just it should be 4, 1 a quarter, easy, done.
I feel terrible for the people who do the draft. It's so fast now. They don't have a chance to even learn a format.
8 weeks of draft, and then you move on to the next set. And then it's 8 more weeks of draft, and you move on to the next set. And it's 8 more weeks of draft, and you move on to the next set. And it's just like, brother, come on.
You have to have a plan. Like, you can't just go and learn to draft by just drafting. You have to actually study now.
Yeah. Instead of like, all right, it's we spent 13 weeks on this draft set. I know, and it's week 10, and I really know this draft set now. Now it's like, I better know this draft set like right as it comes out because I'm never going to learn it in time.
Yeah, exactly. Before it rotates.
Before it rotates to Final Fantasy, and then Marvel, and then Spider-Man, which is somehow different than Marvel. How are we getting? How are we draining?
Paramount probably because of the licensing. Oh, it's Sony. That's right. Sony.
Thank you, idiot. It's fine. So yeah,
I knew why it was
Beyond and the release schedule. Let us know, because like.
It's rough.
I care so much more about the release schedules than the Universes Beyond. Like, who really cares?
Yeah, the release schedule's tight, and then not only that, but we're still getting the remaster sets, right? Because it's what Innistrad Remastered is coming out in January. And you know they're going to do a random. You know they're going to do a random ass remaster set in the middle of the year for the summer.
Yeah, or they're gonna hold Final Fantasy until then.
No, because they usually have like a straight to modern thing, right? Like so before MH2, the year before it was what was it? There was something that was straight to modern.
There was not something straight to modern.
The Ring, yeah. Yeah,
No,
it was the
that
Lord
was
of the Rings
after
set.
that was after MH2. That was before MH3.
Yeah.
You said MH2.
Sorry, I misspoke.
I think that's not going to be a thing to worry about now.
I don't think straight to modern is going to be a thing to worry about, but the
other than
remastered
Horizons.
sets will be. Yeah.
But
or at least for this year, it won't be.
Yeah, I hope there's no direct to modern set because I'm going to lose my fucking shit. I think everything's just going straight to standard now, which, like, they said they wanted it to be, like, to ensure there's nothing, like, there's no questions over, like, card, like, availability for, like, format. I don't know. They said it was something regarding, like, not confusing new players with, like, what cards are legal and what thing. And it's like, so we just want all of our stuff, all of our core sets or like main sets to go through standard. And it's like, sure.
Okay. All right. I mean, if they're doing away with MH2 stuff and everything has to filter through standard,
they cannot do that.
Yeah.
We are 100% getting Modern Horizons 4. I hate to break it, everybody. Modern Horizons 4 is currently in the pre-planning stages.
Yay.
So
I'm excited.
Get ready.
Let's get
what archetype needs help? A lot of help.
Mill.
Eldrazi needed a lot of help, and now Eldrazi's there.
Mill.
Yeah. We're gonna get a
Mill
needs help. Card that says, hey, if you milled 20 cards from your opponent's deck this turn, shoot them with a gun.
You win the game. Brentley needs help.
He does need help. Poor Brentley and his RCQs. He just keeps getting fucking slammed.
Yeah.
Brentley, you're doing something wrong if you're getting that badly slammed.
Play more counterspells.
No. God, no. Do anything with that. Don't. Drown is about as good as you're going to get.
Well, against Boros, drown almost always hits. So
Drown almost always hits, yes. But also, just Crypt Incursion them. It's easy.
Yeah. Or what was that card when I was playing Goblins that Mengu hit me with, where he just gained a bajillion life?
Crypt Incursion.
Oh, that was it. Oh, okay. Words are hard.
I know what I'm talking about. When I just say random cards, I'm saying the cards that do things, not just.
I don't know what it does. Is my thing.
I know it gains you 3 life for every creature exiled from target graveyard.
Nice. That sounds fantastic.
Yeah, so against creature decks, you're just like, all right. Hey, your creature deck doesn't kill me anymore. Shake my hand. All right.
Yeah.
On to the next one. Speaking of on to the next one, it's time to leave. I think we've talked ourselves out here when it comes to like all this stuff. But let us know what you think of any of the topics that we discussed in the comment section below. Also, feel free to like and subscribe and other such things as that. Is there any other? No, there's not. I don't know. YouTube's weird. But Bill, thanks for being here. I appreciate it. I appreciate you being here.
I appreciate you being here, Dan. And remember.
Oh, I was going to also thank the listener / viewer for listening / watching.
Oh, I assume nobody got to this point.
Oh, I don't know. But yeah, if you made it to this point, thanks. Until next time, keep calm. Spike on.